One might argue that if you exercise healthily and you know what you're supposed to do and how you're supposed to do it correctly, then you shouldn't cause injury. I've been a fitness instructor for over 15 years. Educated, I knew what exercises to do and how to do them correctly, and still I've managed to cause so much damage to my body. And for a long time, I didn't understand why would other people exercise and do the same thing that I do, and I would get knee pain and they don't. My knees were wrecked, tore my hamstring, back was going in and out of place, and today I personally believe that a lot of that has to do with the underlying message sent to your brain while you exercise. If the underlying message is a message of love, that's one thing. I look good, I'm amazing, I feel good. On the higher level, I loved working out, it made me feel amazing. But I think the problem is so much deeper. If I'm being completely honest with myself, there is an underlying narrative. The negative conversation in my brain was so rooted. Let's burn the calories, which underneath is, oh my god, I hate you, you're disgusting. You have to run. If you didn't run now and burn the calories, then you would be fat. Working out in order to burn calories essentially means something bad would happen if you don't burn the calories. It's very different than exercising because you deserve it and because you're amazing the way you are. I think it's a little bit difficult making that separation because it's such a deep kind of conversation with yourself. And then one would argue you got a lot of injuries because you were just exercising a lot on high intensity levels. I made a gradual shift because I just didn't have a choice, from aerobic activities that I couldn't do to more body toning, all the way down to Pilates, and down from there to yoga and meditation. And I still managed to damage my body doing yoga because it was so ego-based. I constantly had to prove to myself that I'm good enough, the most flexible, that I can do it better than the person next to me. Again, none of that being aware in the moment, but definitely pushing my own limits and constantly wanting to be more and more and more and more. I can only now in retrospect see and acknowledge that a lot of it, and maybe most of it, had to do with being slim. I needed to be skinny. I only felt beautiful if I was fit. Okay, maybe some of it is genetic, but a person is not just his physical and his genes. We are mental, we are emotional, we are a spirit, and I do believe that a lot of things that happen in our lives come down to intent. I wrote something down and I honestly don't feel like I can recreate it again in my own words, so I'm just going to read it to you. And what I wrote was, my narrative towards myself was so hateful that the mental power of knowledge I had, combined with the physical force in my body, was effectively used to maximize my practice of self-hatred into causing physical injury. We do things that go under the excuse of, I'm doing it because it's healthy, so essentially I'm doing it for myself, but really we're doing something in order to prevent or to hide something in us that we just don't like. And we feel like that is going to fix it, and that's why we do it. So again, the underlying narrative is I hate myself and not I love myself. So maybe it's worth sometimes rethinking the things that we do because they're healthy and trying to figure out whether we're doing it because what we have now is amazing and we want to make it better, or because underneath the surface what we have now is simply not good enough and we're trying to fix it. I'd like to think that other people won't need to go through the amount of damage that I've created to my body, and maybe just learn a thing or two beforehand so that you can prevent that. In the meantime, I'm sending you all my love and support.